I think it's about time I talk about my hatred for this dumbass crow that is Poe from Ruby Gloom. I'll never get over the fact that this bird bitch did heinous stuff and got away with them scot-free thanks to the writers. But Lexi, Ruby, Misery, Doom Kitty, Iris, Skullboy, Franklin, and Boo Boo has done mean-spirited acts towards each other, main six from My Little Pony style as well. Yes, I know that the others have fucked each other over. You don't have to remind me that. Ruby, Misery, Doom Kitty, Iris, Skullboy, Frank, and Lynn have moments where they hurted each other unintentionally. I still love them, but even I'm not gonna overlook the times where they hurted each other. As for Boo Boo, he's a little brat and who constantly scares and scaredy bat and just for fun for no reason. So yeah, no excuses for him. As for Scaredy Bat, it may be my biasism doing all of the talking throughout this segment, but based on what I've seen throughout watching Ruby Gloom, he never truly did anything malicious and is, if not, one of the most purest characters in the entire show. However, I'm going to say this. The difference between Poe and the rest of the cast is that while these kids are kids and are learning to be better and does feel bad for what they've done, Poe, on the other hand, is a grown-ass man who not only does fucked up shit, but also, A, felt no remorse for any of the fucked up shit he has done, and B, faced no consequences for his actions. Two examples of Poe's horrible acts are in the two episodes Paranoia and Broken Records, my all-time least favorite Ruby Gloom episode. In Paranoia, Poe decides to look through Skullboy's telescope to spy on the new neighbor, Mr. Mumbles, thinking that he's a murderer. Poe sends Edgar, one of his brothers, to go rescue Iris, only and to leave him to crash into the glass house. And when he tried to warn the rest of the house, since Misery accidentally caused the potato peeler to cut the string to the bell, he completely ignores an Edgar and focuses on Skullboy and Iris. And when the same thing happens to Alan when he goes to rescue Skullboy and Iris, Poe just says, forget Alan. Your brothers are in need of your help too, Poe. It's not just your friends who are in danger, it's also your brothers who are in need of your aid too. What would have been better is if he instead said, oh my god, I have to save my brothers and friends. But no, he instead neglects them. And I'm not even blaming anybody else for this. I'm blaming Poe for this because he didn't even went to go check on them. And to make matters worse, when Poe and Scaredy Bat goes to Mr. Mumble's house to rescue everybody, Poe has the nerve, the gall, the audacity to tell Scaredy Bat to go first, despite the fact that he has suspicions of Mr. Mumbles being a murderer. Mr. Mumbles being a murderer or not, the fact that he told Scaredy Bat, who's not even bloodthirsty, to go first when he knew he had suspicions of Mr. Mumbles being a killer, just makes him look like a murderer himself. In the episode, Broken Records continues Poe's neglectful behavior towards the rest of the gang. In that episode, Poe was chosen to update the books for the Gloomsville and Record Society and is having a hard time trying to find new record breakers. Even though, realistically, he's been a negative nitpicking bitch throughout this segment. Iris took a huge interest in the Book of Records and wants to be in it, but every time Iris shows off amazing talents that could help her break a record and another member of the group keeps unintentionally breaking records, Poe purposely ignores every single record that Iris broke and focuses on the rest of the gang except Iris. When I tell you all the way I would have crashed out and stormed out of the room, because who the fuck does Poe think he is? I know that some or most people are willing into doggone Ruby and the others by saying, "Oh, Ruby, Misery, Skullboy, freaking Lynn are a bunch of Mary Sue wannabes. They're so mean-spirited brats towards Iris, taking away her spotlight." But why aren't they dogging onto Poe for being a neglectful bastard? He's fully willing to reward everyone but Iris a spot in the record book for no reason, and is making her feel like she's worthless, which is a clear sign of child neglect. As for Ruby, Misery, Skullboy, Frank, and Len, again, they weren't intentionally trying to take her spotlight. Ruby was truly trying to help Iris and never wanted to become a Mary Sue in the first place. As for Misery, Skullboy, Frank, and Len, they weren't even present in the time segment, in the time codes of the episode, so they knew nothing about the record book in the first place until these time codes of the episode. And poor Iris has been treated like shit throughout this entire episode. Poe is so neglectful towards her. And to add more insult into injury, after Ruby falls into a well, which is extremely deep, even when she's screaming for help, Poe is the only one who doesn't give a shit. Like, do you not see how fucked up this is? Not only is he neglecting Iris and is favoring the rest of the cast over her, but he also ignored Ruby, a 10-year-old child, mind you, who could have died in a fucking well. If that's not in child endangerment, I don't know what is. And what's worse is that Poe never apologized for his bullshit and faced no consequences for his actions. At least Ruby apologized for unintentionally hurting Iris, and at least Iris apologized for accusing Ruby of causing her bad luck. Unlike this motherfucker right here. In conclusion, Poe is a terrible parental figure who doesn't deserve any forgiveness, and I will never get over the fact that the show never pointed out or called him out for his actions. Again, while the rest of the cast has done fucked up shit towards each other, they at least feel bad about what they've done and are learning and to be better. I'm not saying that the stuff that they do towards each other is okay, but still. Poe, however, 1, felt no remorse for the abuse he did towards the cast, and 2, faced no consequences for his actions. And you can tell that Poe is my least favorite character from Ruby Gloom, and he, in my opinion, deserves all the hate he gets. If you don't agree with my opinions on Poe, it's perfectly fine, but please don't excuse his actions, and do not attack anyone who hates Poe, because it makes you look just as bad as Poe. If you have any thoughts on Poe, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!